In this series, you're going to find out how to mix a metal song from start to finish. If you want to learn how to take your raw recording of a metal song to a loud, punchy, exciting mix, then you're in the right place. Hey everyone, Joe here. So I've split this series into 6 videos, 1 video for each step of my mixing process that I use to get great results fast. I'll guide you through the process from scratch. I'll be showing you all the plugins, techniques that I use and explaining all my mixing decisions along the way. So in part 1, it's all about the setup and prep of the mix. Really important to get things set up right so that nothing gets in the way of the creative process while you're mixing. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you something super useful that you can download, that you can follow to help you remember each of the steps and to help guide you along the way. So here we are in the session, in the Pro Tools session. It doesn't matter what DAW you're using to mix though, this is going to apply for you. The song is called Demon Racer by Mike Punch. I'll leave a link in the description to the Spotify, the track on Spotify. It's the original mix that I did for the client. I'm going to be mixing it again from scratch for you. So there are about 20 tracks, some of them obviously stereo, the ones that have the panning and the stereo overheads and ambient mics. It's all in the wrong order. All I've done is brought the tracks in and put the master fader in. So we're going to be setting up this mix and preparing. But first, I just want to mention, before you start mixing any song, it's a great idea to have a reference track so you know what kind of sound you're going for. Or if you don't need a reference track, either way, it's good to know exactly what your vision is for the song, what kind of sound you want, or what kind of sound the client wants if you're mixing for somebody else, and just to help to guide your mixing decisions for the mix. So first up, we're going to get everything in order. We're going to get all the tracks colored. So at a glance, you can see where each of the stems lie. We're going to get all the mix. We're going to get the mix bus up and individual buses for the different groups of instruments, effect buses, just everything we need so that you can just plug things in when you're mixing. You don't have to mess around creating new tracks or anything like that. So first, let's just get everything in order. I like to go sort of top down, so get the vocal tracks at the top. And also you want to make sure everything's named correctly. Obviously it is here because the tracks are named right, but you don't want sort of audio track 1, 2, 3. You want the proper names in there. So again, at a glance, you can just go to what you're looking for. So everything's in an order that makes sense to me. What order makes sense to you is completely down to you. Just put everything in the order that you're comfortable with. Just going to get everything color coded as well. Yeah, again, it doesn't matter what color you choose. The point is just getting everything looking right for you. Next, I'm going to make a few groups actually. So I'm going to highlight the 2 vocals, create a group. Control G or Command G does this for Pro Tools, but it's going to be different for each DAW. Let's go a group for the first rhythm guitar. I'm going to turn those off for now though. They're just there ready. So let's make a few groups now. So a few aux buses, I mean. So you want a vocal bus, guitar bus, drum bus. Might need something else later on, but for now I think that should be fine. And then also I'm going to make 4 effects buses as well. We'll go through all of the actual mixing of the buses and getting the effects right later on, but I just want to get things set up first. So we've got 4 buses down there that we can put our effects on so that we can apply them to any track. Probably going to be using a plate reverb, maybe a hall. Again, I might change this later on. Maybe a digital delay and an analog delay. So we want a vocal bus that all the vocals will be going through. Bass doesn't need a bus because it's just on its own. Then let's get all the drums through a bus as well. Sometimes I'll do individual buses within the drum. So for example, all the toms going through a bus, but we'll see when we get to that. I want one more bus for the mix bus. This is what everything's going to be going through before it reaches the master so that we can affect the whole mix. Then I'm going to put all the other buses and individual tracks going through that bus. Let's just hit play, make sure everything works. Cool. Obviously that's sounding a bit messy at the moment, unbalanced, but we haven't started mixing yet. So that's it really, that's all set up. Everything's been edited and cleaned up already. If you've got a mix and yours hasn't, then get that out of the way first. You don't want to be editing during the mixing process. Just make sure everything's cut off where it needs to be. You don't have any extraneous noises, anything like that. The vocals have been edited or tuned or whatever you're going to be doing to your vocals. Get that all out of the way first. So everything's set up now and good to go. We're ready to mix. Hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss part 2, where we're going to be doing the static mix. We're balancing levels and panning. You can make a huge amount of progress on this step in just 5 to 10 minutes. And it's always the first step of any mix. Once you've got everything set up. So as I said, there's a link in the description. You can click on it, you can go through, you can download the mixing process guide. It's a PDF. It goes through all the 6 steps of this mixing process so that you can remember where you are. It helps to guide you along, gives you some focus and purpose when you're mixing, and it will help you know when you've finished the mix as well. So it's really worth downloading that if you're learning how to mix. Download that as a reference. And let me know in the comments section below, what are you mixing? What are you working on at the moment? Or what kind of music are you hoping to be mixing in the future? And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.